Something's cooking in Kelsey's kitchen. Come on in, come on in. And if your belly's got that itching, come on in, come on in. The main ingredient is a pinch of loving, and only the best comes out of Kelsey's oven. Come on in, come on in, come on in.
Welcome to Kelsey's Kitchen. I'm Kelsey Nixon, and this is where we make fast, fun, and affordable meals. Today I am joined by an amazing guest, Hud himself, one of the greatest guys I know, and he is here to help me with this date plate show. Hud, what holiday is coming up?
Well, one of my favorite holidays, Valentine's Day.
The Day of Love, right?
Holds a close place in my heart.
That's right. Well, I was thinking that I could maybe give you some tips on how to make dinner for your date.
Okay, yeah.
I think it sounds like a pretty good idea. We've got an excellent menu. It's not going to cost you that much. You're going to be able to throw it together in no time.
I could always use the help.
Okay. In fact, I've already gotten started. That's how excited I am. So, what we're first making is chicken pesto roll-ups. And the thing that's good about this is it looks like this great gourmet dish that's really simple to make. So, I've got some chicken going in here, and what I did to this chicken first was I pounded it thin to about 1/8 of an inch. You can see here that I put some plastic wrap over a regular chicken breast, took my meat tenderizer, and just pounded it super thin. You can also buy chicken breast cutlets that are pretty thin, but we're rolling it up so you can't have it too thick. Got it?
Got it.
Okay, while I'm doing this, how about you cut some of this asparagus for me? Does that sound good?
Yeah, sounds good.
You're going to snap off the very bottom, just because that's kind of a woody part that you're really not going to eat. It doesn't taste very good.
Should we take off this top too?
Yeah, you're natural.
Okay.
I knew you would be. And then why don't you cut it into fourths?
Okay.
So we're getting them pretty thin. Asparagus is a great vegetable to use. Its time for being in season is actually February to April, so we just barely entered into asparagus season. And the good thing about that is that asparagus isn't going to cost you that much money to buy. It can be up to like $4 or $5 sometimes, but I got it for $1.99 the other day, so not much to complain about.
How many of these are we going to be using?
Why don't you cut up 3 of them? Does that sound good?
Yeah.
I'm going to reach across you and just grab this dish. Now on my chicken, you want to make sure that you don't cook it too long, so it's still somewhat flimsy, I guess that's the proper term. Because like I said, we need to roll it up, and if we cook it too much, then it's going to be really tough, and that's not going to work. Okay, I'm going to get this other one going. How's the asparagus coming?
Coming along all right.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. Trying to get this chicken out without having to touch it, so I don't need to wash my hands. Okay, there we go. Okay, Hud, so the question is, do you have a special someone you're going to be cooking for?
I may.
You may. Well,
Keeping my fingers crossed.
Good, this will be a good menu. I have a feeling. I have a feeling. Okay,
I think I got these done here.
The asparagus looks good. We're going to do a couple of layers. We're first going to do a layer of pesto, a layer of cheese, and I like to use Asiago cheese because it melts better than Parmesan cheese. Okay. And then some tomatoes. And we have 2 options with the sun-dried tomatoes or the Roma tomatoes. So depending on the flavor that you like, sun-dried tomatoes are a little bit more expensive, but also a little bit more fancy, I guess you could say.
Okay.
So why don't you take this one and start throwing that together. Your pesto is going to go first, followed by some cheese, and the tomato and asparagus.
How thick should I lay it on here?
You know what? Personal preference. I happen to really like pesto, so I get it on there pretty good. But like I said, you know, that's one thing about cooking that I don't think people understand, Hud, is that you don't always have to have a specific measurement, especially when you're cooking things like this. In baking and things like that, you need to make sure that you're pretty accurate. But as far as this goes, you know, it's all up to your own flavor.
Most important thing is you always got to put a pinch of leaven in it.
Oh, pinch of leaven. Hud, you know, we need to mention something. Hud was the writer of the Kelsey's Kitchen theme song. So he holds a very dear place in my heart, that's for sure. That song, so good, gets stuck in my head every now and then. Can't get enough of it.
The cheese goes on after the pesto, right?
Yeah, the cheese goes on after the pesto.
Okay.
And then you can throw some of those. Which tomatoes are you going to use? Sun-dried tomato?
I think I'm going to go with sun-dried, yeah.
Good. Good choice. And then this one's just about done. One thing I didn't mention is you'll want to make sure that you season your chicken with salt and pepper, and I'd done that beforehand, but if you forget to do that, it really does make a difference. So a little salt and pepper, big difference, especially when you're using kosher salt.
Okay.
Okay, now stick a few of those asparagus sprigs in the very top.
Okay.
Actually, more to one side because we're going to roll it up.
Okay. Just kind of like that?
Actually, other way around.
This way?
Yeah, because we want to stick it out a little bit, kind of that gourmet look.
All right.
Perfect. Now go ahead and roll that sucker up.
Let's see here.
Yeah.
Just roll it nice and tight?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And then you're going to secure it with some toothpicks here. Oh, the garlic and the oil, I forgot to mention that. I just started with about a tablespoon of oil in here with 1 clove of garlic minced, and it smells wonderful. Adds that extra bit of flavor to your chicken.
Oh, this is
has
good.
A taste.
Yeah, I like this. Just throw a few toothpicks in there.
A few toothpicks in there, and when it bakes in the oven, it's going to kind of seal itself up. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay, now I'm going to throw this other one. Actually, yeah, but not bad, huh? I'm going to do it in the same dish.
Okay. Don't
really want to do it on that plate because we had some raw chicken. And same thing. Think you can handle that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, this meat tenderizer that I was talking about, if you don't have one, you're probably like a lot of other college students that don't have one. This is not a normal utensil in the kitchen, but I would recommend getting one. I got it for a couple of bucks, and what it does is it makes the meat more tender, it makes it thinner, flatter, so you can experiment with meat and different things like that. So, meat tenderizer. If you don't have one, sometimes I'll use like a measuring cup, a heavy measuring cup, and just pound the heck out of that thing. Today I was preparing these, and my neighbors thought that I was hanging pictures on the wall as I was banging on the cutting board. So.
Yeah, I think whenever we've had to tenderize things, we just always go out in the garden, get a rock, use a hammer or something.
Good.
Just wrap it up in some saran wrap and use it.
That's right. That's right. See, inventive. I like that. That's the college boy way of tenderizing meat. Just get a rock in the backyard.
All right.
Hud, you're natural at this. That's looking great.
Now the asparagus.
The asparagus, and those asparagus sprigs look really nice. Another thing about asparagus is you can buy white asparagus also, and in Europe that's actually the preferred vegetable over the green asparagus. It's a little bit more difficult to get in the United States and quite a bit more expensive, so I'm usually a fan of the green. And looks good. And sometimes the chicken will fall apart, just by the nature of the cut, and you just take those toothpicks and you kind of patch it up, and when it cooks, like I said, it kind of molds together, and you've got this great presentation of this wonderful chicken dish. So, I am really impressed, man. Now, if a college guy can do this, anybody can do this, right? And
if I could do it, anybody can do it. I'm not a cook, everybody.
Okay, so we have our two chicken pesto roll-ups. We're going to stick it in the oven, 375, for about 15 to 20 minutes. Want to toss that on over. And by that time, we'll have an entire meal ready. So stick this baby in. We'll put it on the lower shelf. And Hud, how does it strawberry shortcake on a stick sound?
That sounds pretty good. I love strawberries.
That's what we're making next. So you don't want to go anywhere. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Hello! The job market is a competitive place. In today's economy, extra skills mean a better job for you. Speaking English is the skill you need for greater opportunity, more money, and a brighter future. Introducing Hello Channel, an exciting new television channel that teaches English as you watch TV. There's something for everyone, and the more you watch, the faster you'll learn. All you have to do is say hello.
Welcome back to Kelsey's Kitchen. We've already started on our dessert that we're so excited about, right?
Right.
We're making these strawberry shortcake on a stick. That's what our dessert's called. So it's a little twist on, a great dessert. So I've started melting this chocolate in here. It's a double boiler, so I've got boiling water underneath, just a glass bowl on top. That'll prevent it from burning. I'm going to add a little bit of vegetable shortening, and that'll kind of give it that creamy texture that we need for dipping our strawberries and pound cake, of course. So while I'm doing this, would you mind whipping some cream?
Yeah, no problem.
Nothing like fresh whipped cream, right?
That's right. Makes every occasion more fun.
It's kind of like the cherry on top to a great dessert. That's the way I think of it. Yeah, better than that Ready Whip stuff, better than Cool Whip. And if you'll notice, the bowl's kind of cold and the beaters. And that's one tip that you can do when making whipped cream is if you put those in the fridge beforehand, you'll get a better texture out of it. So I'm going to turn this off. It's just about right. Now chocolate's very temperamental and it'll burn real easily. That's one reason we added the shortening. And that's another reason that I'm not just melting my chocolate in this saucepan. This is a much better way to do things. So, and as you'll see, this chocolate will get a nice glossy look to it. And yeah, who doesn't love chocolate-covered strawberries on Valentine's Day?
I do.
It's like the trademark dessert, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. How's that?
So I
whipped
just
cream coming?
gradually, so I just put the powdered sugar in,
Yeah,
right?
why don't you up that speed?
Okay.
Right. Good. You could probably even take it a little bit higher. And the reason that we added the powdered sugar is because it'll give it a nice sweetness. And we're also going to add the vanilla, which he just did. Kind of doing the same thing, just more intense flavor. Really good. And as you can see, my chocolate is all melted now. It looks wonderful and smells wonderful, might I add. You can use any type of chocolate, milk chocolate, semi-sweet, dark chocolate, they'll all work. The nice thing about dark chocolate is you get a really rich color. Same thing with semi-sweet, your milk chocolate's gonna be slightly lighter. So I've got these nice strawberries over here. Now strawberries aren't in season quite yet, but on Valentine's Day, why not splurge, spend extra money, get some strawberries. So I'm gonna start dipping these. Now when using strawberries, you don't want to wash them until right before you're going to use them. It'll kind of dry them out. So that's what I've done. And you'll want to make sure that they're dry before dipping them because the water will ruin your chocolate. So how's that coming, Hud?
Seems
Thickening
like,
it up at all?
Yeah, it's getting a little bit thicker. I'm always scared to whip cream because I always whip it too much. And it turns out being hard as butter.
Yeah.
My mom never let me do it when I was little. That's true.
Oh, God. Okay. Now, in addition to these strawberries, we're also going to take some pound cake and dip that in this chocolate, hence the strawberry shortcake on a stick. And I just bought the frozen pound cake you can buy in the grocery store for a couple $. And the nice thing about that is I've already cut it up, but it's very easy to cut up when it's a little bit frozen. And nice, you can make nice cubes with it. Looks pretty nice, so there we go. Oh man, these look so good.
Oh, those do look good.
Who doesn't love chocolate covered strawberries? You know it's a special occasion when someone's getting chocolate covered strawberries, right? Hud, what made you decide to make dinner for your date this year on Valentine's Day?
Well, just in the past, I think cooking is a lot more personal. I think restaurants are always crowded, especially on Valentine's Day, right?
That's right.
And I think it's just a lot more personal, a lot more thought and care is put into it, I think. So
That's right.
I think it's a good way to show your significant other that you care about them.
Well put, Hud. Couldn't have said it better myself. Let's see.
I think this is starting to thicken up.
Starting
is that
to
good?
thicken up a good. Yeah, looks
Okay.
great.
It should still go longer though, right?
Yeah, I'd go a little bit longer.
Okay. Don't let me do it too much.
I won't. Okie doke. So, Hud, are you hoping for anything this Valentine's Day?
No. I'm just hoping for a good time.
Good.
That's all.
It's Good answer. With my pound cake, I just stuck a toothpick in these, and I'm just going to do them about halfway, maybe even just a quarter. Just dipping it in there. And I did turn my heat off as soon as my chocolate was melted. You can just stand them straight up like this, and it'll actually help them get a nice flat bottom. We're going to skewer these on kebab sticks like this, and so that when you layer them, it'll be layered pretty easily. And when that amazing whipped cream that you're doing is done, it's going to serve as like a dip or more of a garnish for the kebabs. And I'm telling you, if you bring these out to your sweetheart, she's gonna think that you hired a caterer. But little does she know, you've been in the kitchen, right?
That's right.
Okay. I've done a few extra strawberries here for myself. But you'll only want to stick probably 3 strawberries and 3 pieces of pound cake per skewer. Oh. There we go. It's getting close.
Yeah.
I'm watching you, Hud.
Just a little bit longer.
No over mixing here. Okay. Our chicken's baking up in the oven, just finishing off, and we've got our dessert going, and what's gonna happen after this is we're gonna stick these in the fridge or freezer, kind of let that chocolate harden up, and then we're gonna make garlic bread. Because what is chicken with pesto and tomatoes without garlic bread, right? It's a great thing to have as kind of an appetizer for your meal. That's maybe something we should talk about, Hud.
Okay.
Setting the mood when cooking for your significant other. It's a very important aspect.
Right.
And some good ideas would maybe include taking a card table and setting up somewhere special, or getting one of your friends to be the waiter as he brings your sweetheart their plate of food. So keep those in mind this Valentine's Day as you're cooking for that special one. I'm going to put these in the refrigerator. We're going to finish whipping up this cream. When we come back, we're going to make that garlic bread and some pasta to go with our chicken pesto roll-ups, and we're going to serve this there. How do you feel about that?
Sounds good.
Okay, we'll see you in a few minutes.
We learned English.
Your kids can too.
Just watch Hello Channel.
Welcome back to Kelsey's Kitchen. Over the break, we've been busy, right, Hud?
Right.
Boiled some water, and we threw some angel hair pasta in there. That's going to match real nicely with our chicken pesto roll-ups. So that's got just a few more minutes, and while that's cooking, you keep an eye on that, and I'm going to make us some garlic bread.
Okay.
Easiest recipe in the world, and it tastes like $1 million. I'm telling you, this is a good one. So what I have here is a ½ cup of softened butter, and this is just butter that I let sit out for about an hour or so, and it's real, easy to work with. And I've actually already mixed my herbs up. Now what you've got here is you've got a little bit of dried basil, a little bit of dried rosemary. I think there's a little dried parsley in here, some garlic salt, some garlic powder. Usually 1/8 teaspoon for most, but you can go to the website for the specific recipe. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to add this to my butter. So it's kind of like a garlic butter. And garlic bread, I did a little bit of research, Hud.
Okay.
Started in 1940 is when the first garlic bread was found. And it's when there was this upsurge of these Italian-American restaurants starting. And it's kind of a trademark dish they had. So this is one version of a garlic bread. So
we would always have garlic bread at home growing up because my father, we're actually Italian, so we'd always have good Italian stuff.
Of course you're Italian. Oh, that's great. So I bet your dad's got some good garlic bread recipes.
He's got a few, mostly his mom, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good. So it's as easy as this. Now, we're just going to spread this right onto some French bread here. But another thing you can do with butter like this is you can get some saran wrap or some clear plastic wrap, and you can put your butter on it, kind of roll it up into kind of like a cylinder, and then freeze it. And then you've got what's called a compound butter, and you can have it anytime. You can slice it, put it on things of bread. I've made orange butters before, parsley butters, things like that. Butter makes everything taste better, right, Ed? That's right. In most cases, that's the truth. So this is pretty well incorporated, and we're just going to spread it evenly on here. And I'm going to use a pastry brush because I think that'll work best.
Glob.
That sure is a big glob. It's a big glob of goodness is what it is. Okay, and see how this brush really just kind of spreads it around nicely. How's that pasta looking?
It's looking good. I think it might be just about ready.
I think it's just about ready too. It's been in there about the right amount of time, and
yeah.
Why don't we drain that?
Okay.
Or strain that, excuse me. Now, one thing when cooking pasta, you never want to break your pasta noodles. That's a big no-no, and you always want to make sure that you're using a pretty big pot. That's a 3-quart pot we're using, so that the pasta has room to kind of move around and it doesn't stick to each other. So that's something to remember. And another thing is you never want to wash your pasta head, okay?
Okay.
And this is important because if you wash your pasta, run some cold water. Sometimes they'll tell you that to prevent it from keep cooking. But what it's going to do is it's going to prevent your sauce from sticking to your pasta. And that's not what we want by any means. So go ahead and throw that in that blue dish there.
Just right in here.
Uh-huh. And then we're going to take the rest of our pesto and incorporate it with our nice angel hair pasta.
Right here?
Yes. And then the little bit of pesto in the chicken and the pesto on the pasta will be a nice pair for each other.
Throw the rest of this on there, huh?
Yep.
All right.
You look like a pro, Hud. Great. Okay, now that I've got this garlic butter pretty well spread around, I'm going to top it with, now you can use Parmesan cheese, you can use Asiago cheese, or I'm actually using a blend of Italian cheeses. And the reason I like that is maybe because it melts just a bit better, but that you've got to have that flavor of that Parmesan cheese. So great. So we're going to stick this in the oven, and I'm going to put my oven on a broil. Now my chicken's still in there. We can't forget about that. And we're going to top it with a little bit of cheese just for the last few minutes. And all we're going to need to do is have this garlic bread under the broil for a couple of minutes, and we're good to go.
All right.
We're going to plate this up and have a great meal. So stick this in the oven. We'll be right back for the final results.
Why should you watch Hello Channel? Because learning English should be inexpensive, and learning English should be available to everyone. If you want a brighter future, join us and say hello. Welcome
back for the best part of the show, the part where we get to plate it up and eat it. So I'm going to pull this garlic bread out of the oven along with the chicken. How about you start putting our strawberry shortcake on a stick together? Oh, looks good. I'm going to take this out. As you can see, this garlic bread, it's a little crispy around the edges, but you know, I kind of like it that way. This is on a high broil. If you don't want it as crispy, put it on a low broil for not as much time, and you're good to go. Okay, so out comes the garlic bread.
Okay, so what I'm doing with these, Kelsey, is I'm just taking all the toothpicks out of them and just doing it like a shish kebab, right?
You're a pro, man. That's exactly right. Oh my goodness.
Just kind of alternate them.
This chicken smells like $1,000,000. Okay, turn our oven off. Oh my gosh, look how great that whipped cream looks. Okay, before we put our chicken on our plate, we're gonna use some of this pasta that we made with the pesto. And I'm gonna steal these tongs from you. And, oh my gosh, this is gonna be real good. You know, this is kind of like an everyday gourmet meal. A lot of the ingredients you might have in your house already, and just in the way you present it makes a huge difference for a special occasion, right?
Right. There's the first one.
Oh my gosh, that looks like $1,000,000. Okay. Pasta's on the plate. Now I'm going to take our chicken from behind here. Okay. Oh, doesn't that look so great? The cheese is melted. Oh, wonderful. Right on top there for a nice presentation. You know, when presenting your food, it's always nice to build height in the middle. That pesto sauce is in there with those sun-dried tomatoes. Last thing you want to do is take out those toothpicks because you don't want your honey biting into that, getting a toothpick, right? There we go.
I think we're done with these two right here.
Oh, Hud. Now that is something I can have on a regular basis. That looks real good.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Seriously, that's tempting to start with dessert. I'm going to slice this bread up, and then we're going to taste this. How do you feel about that?
Sounds good.
Okay.
It smells so good.
I know, can you believe it? And you did this, Hud. You threw this meal together. I'm really impressed. Oh, nice crispy garlic bread. That garlic butter was really easy to make. Put a slice on there. Put one more. Cheese melted nice. I can hardly wait. There we go. These are still a little hot, so we don't want to. You ready, Hud?
I think
You
I
ready
am.
to try this?
Can't wait any longer.
Fork and a knife. Here's your everyday gourmet meal, also known as the date plate for Valentine's Day. That's all we have for you today on Kelsey's Kitchen. Hopefully you've got some good ideas on what you can make for your date this Valentine's Day. If you'd like these recipes, log on to www.kelseykitchen.com, and I wish you the happiest Valentine's Day ever. Thanks for being here, Hud.
Thank you.